Hi, this is Dr. Cerami from Utah Sports and Wellness. We're located in Salt Lake City on 3300 South, about 15th East. Our website is utahsportsandwellness.com, and there's our phone number up there. So we're going to cover a topic today that's gaining a little bit of interest, although it may seem a little controversial to people. So if you do have further questions, don't hesitate to get in touch with us, but you can also Google it and you can find some supporting evidence with this. We're just going to hit the basics today. So one of the things that occurs a lot when people injure themselves is a default setting for a concept called RICE for treatment, which is rest, ice, compression, elevation. It's been around since I think 1984, and it was initially developed by Gabe Merkin, MD. Interestingly enough, he's come out and said probably 10 years ago that is not the way to deal with things anymore, but there are a lot of people that are still using that program. So let's talk about that a little bit. We want you to, again, think about it, check into it, and maybe try a few other things. So the main thing that we're going to discuss is how ice actually can inhibit the long-term healing. That again may seem a little controversial, but there's good evidence for that. And ice is still applicable, but only under certain circumstances. So what tends to happen in these scenarios is that there is delayed healing, and what the ice does is it prevents the body from releasing what's called IGF-1, which helps heal muscles. It's a certain chemical. The body goes in and says, how do I heal this? And the ice prevents that from happening. Cortisone type drugs, NSAIDs, anti-inflammatories, and again, ice also reduce that healing response. So what we're going to recommend and what Dr. Merkin recommends is just RCE, which is rest, compression, and elevation, and we're going to add to a few other things there as well. Now, I feel ice again can be helpful in an acute injury for a temporary period of time to keep things from swelling too long, but not extended periods of ice. Again, it changes the body chemistry and will reduce long-term benefits of healing. So a couple things that we're going to discuss here, and we've got information on our website about this. And this one's a little bit crazy, but there is good evidence, and we've got the PDF on this online, and I spoke to this gentleman recently. This is James Oshman, PhD. He's authored of dozens of research papers, and he's written a number of books, one of which is called Energy Medicine. So one of the options, this is simple, we'll talk a little bit more about this in another video, is called grounding. What grounding is going outside, putting your bare feet on the ground for at least 15 minutes. Again, there's research showing good evidence with this, with grounding effects. And basically the idea is that the body has a lot, or the earth has a lot of electrons that will actually get pulled up into the legs, and the electrons will help reduce the inflammatory markers. So try it on your own. When I was doing triathlons 3 or 4 per year, what I would do is usually sit out during the racer meeting, the pre-race meeting, and just bare feet and letting my feet and hands touch the ground for 15 minutes or 30 minutes at a time. And I felt great. It was amazing how it reduced any kind of post-race symptoms. So if you're a racer, maybe just try that a little bit on your own, just see what you notice, and let us know what you think. But we'll post an article on the PDF on that online. But again, it's free, it's cheap, and there's good information about what it can do. All right, number 2 is two of the programs that we have here are laser and microcurrent, and there's published studies on microcurrent showing how it reduces the effects of delayed onset muscle soreness dramatically, and the same thing with laser. So we've got articles on the website about that too. So these are alternatives. This one again is no charge. We do charge for this, but again, these are options for injuries. Number 3, what we would recommend is that a proteolytic enzyme helps flush the edema out of the system. So one of the post-race or post-performance recommendations that we make for people is a proteolytic enzyme within 30 minutes of finishing an event. What that will do is break down the inflammatory enzymes in the connective tissue and help flush them out, which makes you feel a little bit better quicker. And then also taking a protein supplement. We usually recommend a product called Perfect Amino. So both those things again can help you recover a little bit quicker. There's some other supplements that we have for dealing with pain as well. So again, a little controversial, but just rethink the whole icing idea. There's applications for it, there's different ways of doing it. but ice has been shown to delay the healing response in the body. And again, this is by the same guy that developed the protocol initially. So let us know what you think. Do your own research, maybe try some grounding, some things like that. I know it may sound a little bit kooky, but it's pretty cool stuff and it might give you a little bit of an edge over the next person. Okay, thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe to our channel if you like what we're presenting to you guys.